Good morning. We're here in Escondido. I'm with Michael Roth. He's the Vice President of Communications for AEG, and he is knee-deep this morning in organizing the Amgen Tour of California that starts Sunday here in Escondido. It's been an incredible thing watching you get this thing organized. You've been on 2 cell phones all morning, talking to news media, getting people organized.
You know, when you bring an international event like the Amgen Tour of California and start the first day, there's always the first weekend, there's always things that you want to button up at the end and things you forgot about, or mostly things that pop up.
Right.
You know, we have extra people coming, we want to put extra food out. We have a team that had a problem getting into the hotel, you worry about that. I worry about a press conference that's coming up, so and making sure everybody's well fed. I mean, all these things come into play.
Right.
We've got course marshals that are on the road today, down here in Escondido, checking out the course. You know, you want to make sure that there are no road hazards that have happened in the last couple of days or couple of weeks. You know, no nails hanging out,
sand,
the bumps in the middle, sand.
Glass.
I mean, everything. Because the way those cycles go, you have a little piece of glass or a little road hazard. You don't just take one cyclist down. You could take the whole peloton. You could have 100 cyclists on each other.
Right.
So it's all very important.
And you know, we've seen that in the years past. They come into a sprint finish and there's some obstacle in the road, and half of them go down in a pile.
It's one of the most frightening things to me in all of sports when you see 10 or 15 or 20 cyclists, all literally they're so close and they're going 40 miles an hour.
Right.
One goes down, they all go into each other. I mean, it's one thing with cars that has that happen. You see the smoke and the fire, but these are guys who are skinning up their entire legs, and these are guys that are falling right on the pavement, and with bikes and other riders falling on them. So you always worry about that, but that's part of what makes the sport so exciting is how fast they go. And how close they are, and how unbelievable they are what they do.
They are fantastic athletes, perhaps the best athletes on the entire planet.
I have said to many people, I'm with AEG, and we own Staples Center and the LA Kings, and a third of the Lakers, and we see we have tennis at our place. We have the Galaxy play at the Home Depot Center. I will tell you, in all of the events I've seen, cyclists are the best conditioned athletes I've ever could imagine watching.
And this event has brought people from all over the world, the best of the sport, right here.
You know, we're in the 8th year. More and more every year we're discovered by more cycling fans throughout the world and sports fans in the state of California. You know, if you're the first year or two, it was predominantly cycling fans or cycling fans that brought their next door neighbors and friends. But we caught on, I think in the middle of the second year, people who are sports fans who just want to see a great international event are coming out because of what this is. You know what the Tour de France is.
Yeah.
This is every bit as compelling. And we have the same riders, and they're tuning up. This is the last tune-up before the Tour de France, but they are putting it all out on the road there, and it's like nothing you've ever seen.
Well, Tuesday, you're going to be in Palmdale. You're going to be starting in Palmdale, and that's extra exciting for us because that's where we're from. You're going to be cruising around roads that I ride, all the local cyclists ride, and there's going to be the best athletes in the world in Palmdale Tuesday morning.
You know, that's a great point because if you're a basketball player, you're probably not going to play on the court at Staples Center before the Lakers go on. If you're a cyclist, first of all, you've ridden those courses on your own. You can essentially ride on the course early that morning before the professionals do. What other sport can you do that? And so it's also exciting for people to live there. You know, to see the cyclists go by where your iconic stops are, and then that night to go home and watch a replay of the race. And watch your whole community go, and then you know, especially now it's nice on Tuesday because there'll be 2 races down, and hopefully people who won't be with us, you know, who will be with us then, have already started watching the race because you start to get the personality of the cyclists, you see what teams are doing well, and then you know who's in the lead when they come in and who really to focus on.
Right. We know that starting in the Antelope Valley and ending in Santa Clarita keeps it in Southern California in a big loop for even more time.
It's the Amgen Tour of California. We want to keep it in California. Well, obviously we're keeping it in California, but the more communities we can expose this race to, the better off we are, the more it grows. And judging by the number of communities who have asked to host this, you know, we see what's going on there. But to do in Southern California and early in the race, where people can get started and watch it and then follow it the rest of the way, was important for us. We've been to Santa Clarita probably 4 other times, and the fans that turn out up in that shopping center are there are amongst the best cycling fans in the state, because they're amongst the best cyclists in the state, I think, because
Right.
all those hills and mountains that you guys cycle.
Between the weather and the terrain, yeah, I think there's some great cyclists in Southern California. And we really appreciate the fact that it started south and works its way north.
You
That's
know,
a nice change.
What I had to learn was, starting south and going north, the cyclists are all going into a headwind this time.
Right.
And that will change the whole dynamic of how the
Changes
teams
everything.
compete. And that's what we want to do every year. Change the course up, change everything a little bit, just so that it gives the cyclists more challenges,
Right.
and a newness to it. And for the fans, it exposes it to new cities, and the fans to new types of cycling challenges.
Well, thank you for your time, Michael. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
We will be out all day today and through the weekend. Hope you will too. And we'll see you in Palmdale and Santa Clarita.
We'll be there. Thank you for all of us at iLife Today.